Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. We're starting this vlog off at the Ikea Lego Studio Furnishing Store. It is actually funny how many of these tables I've bought over the years. It's just wild. Today I'm looking for something different. So I want to get one that's this color, but I want to get it like bigger. I think this is like birch. I want to get it in like, not this size, but this size. This one here is 80 centimeters wide. All of these ones are 60 centimeters wide. I just want to get one that's big, but I don't want to get it in white. I'm looking for something different, and this one doesn't come in white, so my options are limited. I just think that this isn't big enough for like putting my big modules on, like the mountains and stuff, just not nearly big enough. It's good for like reviews and whatnot. That's what I use for my reviews, but I'd like this for a building table in that nice birch color. And these cabinets are still on sale as well. They're normally $100, they're on for $79, so I'll probably grab a couple more of those as well. There's not really an option to get that wood material in this size of desk. I don't want to get anything smaller than this because the modules that I'm working on are huge, right? This one here is actually not too bad. So this is the Trotton, 160 by 80. It's $300. It's a different material that won't scratch, which is good. And the interesting thing about it is it actually comes with these legs that you can crank up and down. So I could turn it into a standing desk, which I think is pretty cool. And the frame actually stretches across, so it's going to be a lot stronger than the other tables as well. Like the Leg Captains or the Linmans are, in my opinion, garbage. But when you're buying them in bulk like me, you know, it makes more sense. Also, this one, you can't put wheels on the bottom of it, so you can't move it around, so it's not going to be as versatile, but you can make it stand. Now, this one here is white. It comes in another color, which is like this beige color. And I think that's actually a nice surface there. It's not as reflective as the white and black tables that I currently have. So I think this would actually work really nice. So I think I might invest in a $300 building table that's pretty high quality. It can't move around, but I think it'd be perfect for everything just because it's so large. It's either that or I buy another white one. But the white ones just, they're not the best because of camera exposure and also the reflectiveness, and they like to scratch very, very easily. So it might be time to invest in a nice build table that can actually sit or stand. Sure, I have a sit-stand desk right now, but it's tiny. It's nowhere near this size. I'm not gonna get this because that would just be weird, but look at that deal. $100. That's a steal of a deal right there. That's a nice corner desk. I'd be trotting at Ikea here, everybody. Oh my gosh, will this ever stop? I got the tabletop in beige, which is that huge size. I love that. It's gonna be rock solid on this crank sit stand frame, and then I also got 2 more cabinets as well for underneath the 3D printing tables. How many trips to Ikea have I done since getting the new studio? Far too many. Am I addicted to making the elite workspace? Yes, I am. But hey, it's all just to improve the experience and to improve the efficiency in the studio, right? It's all worth it in the end, I think. So I'm back from Ikea, and the first thing I want to do today is tidy up this area over here. And this is where I'm going to put the 3D printer workstation. So I'm going to get this mansion out of the way, get this black shelf out of the way, and pick up all these random trees. Well, that looks a little bit better. I decided to bring that shelf upstairs because I'm going to use the shelves to increase the height of the other shelves upstairs. And then I should have 2 additional shelves that might work underneath the 3D printer table, which is going to go right there. This shelf is a disaster. All of these bins, they need to be parted out, sorted, put back into the city, repaired, put onto the displays, put into the amusement park or zoo or winter village. Eventually, everything on this shelf will be worked back into the city, but the city right now is just not ready for those things. So for now, I'm just going to store it there, and eventually I'll have to clean up that mess. So when I originally got into 3D printing, I thought you would have to have a USB connection between your computer and the 3D printers. No, that is not the case. In fact, you don't even need a big computer to 3D print. it's all like on its memory. You can do it through your phone, or you can do it through your computer. It's all done on like the Wi-Fi. And I set up this big table here, and the table has the wheels on the bottom, so it's like wobbling around, shaking around, and then I've got all the supplies for 3D printing in this box, which doesn't look too good. So I hope to utilize those 2 cabinets and this table with new legs downstairs. That's going to bring this downstairs, which is going to decrease the noise of the 3D printers. I'm always doing voiceovers right there using this microphone. Not ideal. Also, I'm always working up here, so hearing the 3D printers all day, not ideal. And having wheels on there, not ideal either. So I think it's going to be a better setup downstairs. This is what it looks like up here right now. It's a disaster. You can see what I mean, though. I do not like these tables at all. They're like wobbly, like you're trying to build and it's like, it's just not good, especially when you're dealing with a floor that's not very level. So if I can get this built, then I can use the screws on the bottom and get it positioned so I never have to move it. It's going to be ideal. Like, it's going to be way better. I plan on using this black table and that black table for my part sorting, like my ongoing part sorting that is never ending. So I plan on bringing that back there. And then I'm going to use this one as my primary build table. And if I need to use this one as my part swamper once in a while, I can do that. It's just going to be way better. No, you can't build anything on this little tiny table. And the T right here that I've built using 2 different colors of tables, it's just driving me nuts. I don't like it at all. It's got to change. You're probably asking yourself at this point, Bricksie, do you like putting IKEA furniture together? No, I do not, but I do like neat and tidy workspaces, and I think that that looks a lot better. So I brought the 3D printers down here, and I've got them recalibrating, so that's good, because every time you move them, you're supposed to recalibrate them just so they can level off, because they're like self-leveling. So even if this table isn't perfectly level, they recognize that. Guaranteed it's not perfectly level, that's why you see these little gaps here. But what I did was put the 2 cabinets in the foreground, and then I put some legs in the background. Those are the Olaf adjustable legs. And now that table's fully supported, and when these things are both 3D printing, it won't be like messing up the print, so I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with the fact that this black shelf didn't end up fitting between these 2 cabinets. That was my intention, but it's off by 3/4 of an inch, so like that much, which is unfortunate. I could, of course, have these cabinets like come out from underneath the table. Maybe on that side you wouldn't really see it, but I think that would end up bothering me even more. So now I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this open space here. I guess I could just put a chair there. It looks like somebody's busy staring at the 3D printers. There you go. And I have decided that the mansion eventually is going to be parted out. I just don't think it's the right size to put in the Lego City, and I think it's a dated diorama that could be refreshed. I could potentially build a different mansion that's more suitable for the Lego City, like the right size for the Lego City. If I put that in the Lego City, oh my gosh, it would just be way too big. So maybe one day I need to build some sort of really cool mansion that sort of fits the city a bit better than that one there. And if I ever run out of space one day, like if I'm done developing the Lego City, which will be a long time from now, and if I'm done developing the medieval area, I do have space here for a diorama. And the table could be even bigger than that. However, I do like this open space here, like when you come in for the day or when I come in for the day, it does feel good having the open space here. So I wouldn't want to do this unless we were desperate for more space, which I do not foresee happening in the near future. Okay, so now that I've got this dealt with, it's time to head upstairs. Well, I actually started cleaning up already. It's a little bit better. Reconsolidated the 2 black tables with all the stuff that needs to be sorted out, and the farmer's market, which I still need to build. Unpackage the large metal table frame and also the tabletop. Boy, oh boy, these tabletops, you can just tell that they are a lot higher quality than these ones over here. Like these ones, like they just scratch, and look at the way they reflect the light. I'm hoping this one doesn't reflect the light as much because, well, I guess it sort of does. Blasted lights, hey? What? Can't live with them, can't live without them. Maybe not as bad as the black ones though. Either way, I think this table is going to be a lot better, and I think it's the optimal size compared to these. These ones super long, not very wide. This one, tiny, not good for much. So I'll openly admit it. I've become absolutely obsessed with constantly changing my workspace. Like, I'm always changing it, but I think every time I change it, it gets better. Granted, I have to go like buy things to make it better, but that's just the reality. I just want to make this place, you know, good for building large Lego city modules, and I think this table was necessary because look at that huge workspace. It's nice and level. The table itself is solid with the big steel frame. I can raise it so I can stand there and build. And now we have the ultimate sorting station, the ultimate building station with all the storage below. Pretty nice computer setup. Got an open spot here now so I can put something different there other than trash bins and a fan and an air purifier. I think that looks really good. Now, in regards to adding an additional shelf to these, I can do that. I've got the shelving right down here. But I do not feel like doing that today because it involves clearing the entire top shelf, grabbing the hammer, bashing off the shelves, the top ones there. So probably clearing the top 2 shelves, I guess, sticking in the poles and then raising it up. Now I've got 3 there, so it's perfect. 1, 2, 3. And also, if I'm gonna do that, I want to zip tie these together. I got some black zip ties because it's gonna get pretty heavy and it's gonna get up there and they're already pretty wobbly. So I think if I like merge them all together with zip ties, it's gonna be better. So I've got some zip ties at home. So before I add another shelf with more weight, I wanna make sure I have the right supplies here to do that. I did see black shelves like that had like a groove on one side and an opening, and they used to like connect together. Like I've seen those in the past. I can't remember where. But that would have been super cool, but those ones, they don't do that. So I think up here is looking pretty good, but there's one other thing that I want to do before I'm completely satisfied with this workstation. Actually, there's 2 other things that I want to do before I'm completely satisfied. Actually 3, because the shelves, more and more and more. But I mentioned it in the past. Eventually, I want to take these part bins and I want to extend the same part bins all the way to the corner. And I want to get rid of those ones that are different because it just bothers me that they're different, right? These are the original part bins that I ever had. But eventually I'd like to make them all consistent all the way across and run this shelf all the way across so we can put awesome Lego sets all the way along. And the other thing is I'd like to get all the Legos sorted. And once I get all the Legos sorted, maybe this becomes like a diorama table. I don't know. That could be a diorama there. That's a pretty big surface. And if I don't have use for that surface because I could do all of the building here, one day that could become a diorama table as well. So yeah, we got the ultimate workspace up here for computers and sorting and building. And then we have the 3D printing workspace down here. So yeah, I think I was able to make some pretty awesome improvements today. Really happy with that. Epic. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this vlog as I made these studio improvements. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.